Hey, what's up everyone? Adam here with brahwegotthis, and today we're going to discuss what I think is the next expansion coming to ESO. There have been some hints and strong suggestions by what ZeniMax has shown us recently that leads me to believe what the next expansion could be about or centered around. Today I want to go through the possibilities with that expansion, what we could see possibly within it, and my wish list of what I would like to see with the next expansion regardless. Thank you so much to all my patrons. I really do appreciate all of you. If you'd like to become a patron, check out the link below in the description. You'll get your name up here and many other perks. You can also watch me play live at twitch.tv/brahwegotthis. You can come join our Discord. We have a bunch of guilds as well, and you can check out our website at brahwegotthis.com. If you have played ESO for some time, you probably have realized the content cycle release or pattern that ESO has. Ever since Morrowind, ESO has dropped a chapter expansion every year. In that chapter, they release 4 different content releases. First, in Q1, they release a dungeon DLC plus a big update to the base game, usually something of significance with that base game patch. Then, in Q2, around end of May, early June is when they release their big expansion of the year. This was Somerset, Elsewhere, Greymoor, and most recently, Blackwood. This expansion will usually have a new major class or system brought with it. With Somerset, we had jewelry crafting in the Sigic Order. With Elsewhere, we had the Necromancer class. With Greymoor, we had Antiquities, and with Blackwood, we had Companions. Also, with each of these expansions, they set the stage and the theme of the whole year of content with those chapters. Everything led back to or had to do with that specific chapter. Furthermore, Q3 is usually another dungeon DLC update. Then Q4 is a mini expansion with a new zone and usually some sort of significant content update as well, like Vadistran Hollows or the item collection system. And most recently, we're getting the armory system in Q4, the Deadlands DLC this year. So those are the kind of things that come usually in Q4. So unless things are changing next year, it seems like ESO is still going to go their usual route of another expansion next year with the chapter and all that good stuff. They usually do a worldwide reveal sometime in January, so we will see if that still happens in January and if this is their future content release schedule. But the intriguing part about this is recently ZeniMax allowed a streamer to reveal and show off something that is coming next year. And I will warn you, if you don't want any event spoilers or reward spoilers from this event, now is your time to not listen or watch. But to be honest, if you've clicked on this video, you probably don't care about spoilers. But again, this is your last chance to turn away from this. I don't know if this is gonna spoil any story stuff. I doubt it, but this is your last chance. So those of you that are still here, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to stay up to date on all the content in the channel. Let's go ahead and check out this streamer, and they posted some pictures on their Twitter. But this is Madigan. A lot of you might know who this is. Madigan was able to show off next year's, a few of next year's event morph rewards. So it seems like next year they're going to continue with like the morpholith thing. So like right now during the Blackwood event, or you know, in all these events, we've had that morpholith pet, right? And that morpholith pet has morphed into a personality, into a skin, into that mount you have, and then next quarter is going to be a house. And the thing to keep in mind with this is the morpholith pet this year, every single reward is themed around the chapter. And the whole year, it's themed around the Deadlands, right? It's all like Oblivion-esque kind of stuff. So since this year was themed around that, it makes you believe that ESO or ZeniMax is going to theme next year's event rewards around whatever the chapter's expansion is. So the rewards Madigan showed here are Akatosh things, dragon things. There's a glowing gold dragon pet that you can get. You can see here on the screen. And you can earn an Akatosh gold scale skin. It's called the Dragon Skin of Akatosh. And you'll see that this pet looks fantastic and the skin looks really good as well. But that to me is really interesting, and that honestly shocked me. And I'm really surprised that they even showed that. So I thought to myself, wait a minute, are we getting another dragon themed expansion? We just had Elsewhere in 2019. I don't think that can be true, but my stream also mentioned to me that in the lore that Akatosh is the dragon god of time. So possibly we could be getting something to do with time, maybe not so much dragon-esque, but around the Akatosh lore. Then I started to think about it even more. Akatosh, according to the Elder Scrolls fandom wiki, I'll link this down below in the description, has influence in Cyrodiil, Kvatch, and High Rock. High Rock is Tamriel's northwesternmost province, which would be in the Daggerfall Covenant area, I believe, and Kvatch is where the Gold Coast is now, and Cyrodiil is Cyrodiil. So if any of those lore people are out there, just correct me if I'm wrong here. This is just what I'm picking up from the wiki. If the event pet and skin next year is Akatosh themed, it would only really make sense that the expansion takes place in somewhere like Hammerfell or High Rock, or maybe in Kvatch or something. Unless ZeniMax goes complete 360 on us and the event morphs for the whole year have nothing to do with the expansion, which to me doesn't make any sense given their track record of this year. I really feel like that this is an assumption that can be made. The real interesting thing is you can make the case that maybe it's a Cyrodiil expansion. The only thing is I really don't believe ZOS will have a whole chapter expansion themed around PvP. I know that they have a lot of things that they were trying to get fixed right now in PvP, and I know PvPers want more content, but with the track record of the last 4 years, I don't really see a whole expansion themed around PvP. Maybe aspects of it will bring new PvP content into the game, but that's just my opinion. So let's say this expansion is High Rock or Hammerfell. And by the way, y'all, none of this is confirmed. This is just speculation, but I think we've been just given some massive hints through this morph reveal. And to be honest with you all, we really have never gotten a expansion around this area, if you think about it. I mean, you could say Greymoor is that expansion in a way because it's over in the Daggerfall Covenant, Western Skyrim, but really Nords are part of Ebonheart Pact. I mean, I feel like we really haven't gotten a massive DC expansion. I mean, you could say Hrothgar as well, but like that's not a whole chapter, right? So like for me, I just kind of feel like that this could be setting up to be something of a Redguard expansion, a Breton expansion, maybe an Orc expansion, something like that because of these morph pets. But I'm just saying that I think it would be really cool if we did get a Hammerfell or High Rock expansion. I'd be pumped. I think the area would be awesome, and I think the rewards, again, like I said, from this event look fantastic. So if that's what the cosmetics are going to look like, that'd be even better. So for me, when I look at this, I think maybe we really will get another dragon themed expansion with it. I do think that it's less likely that it is going to be completely themed around dragons, but this begs the question then, what do I think it will be themed around in context of the systems involved coming with it? Like, what systems do I think will come with this if it is Hammerfell, High Rock, something like that? Well, maybe this will be the expansion that brings a new class. A lot of people were saying they thought we would get a monk class this year, and maybe they were just a year early, and this is the year coming up. Who knows? I am, for one, hopefully... I am really hoping for a new class because I just think it just adds a lot of excitement to the game. But I have a video planned for that as well sometime soon, so you guys can, you know, stay tuned for that. But some players were saying that a new weapon skill line may be coming, maybe a Spellblade since they are making all of these hybrid changes. But I, for one, felt like the Spellblade was more fitting for this year. And so I don't know if they'll actually release that next year. Who knows? I've heard people also talking about spears as a weapon line. I think that would be kind of cool to add into the game. For me, I feel like we might be getting some type of new class or new system for PvE. I'm leaning towards more of a new system just because I don't know if they'll add another class right now. So what do I mean by like a new system? Well, obviously in an expansion, they're gonna bring a new system, but I mean a PvE-centric system. When you look at ESO, they have been updating the game with all types of these systems. Jewelry crafting, antiquities, companions, oblivion portals, roaming bosses now. But one thing you haven't seen ESO do for a long time is really introduce a new type of activity that is related to PvE or PvP in a sense that it is foundationally different than the systems existing in the game. What I mean by that is usually we get a trial or new dungeons or a new arena in the expansions or DLCs. But what we haven't seen is a new type of dungeon. Maybe a 5-man dungeon, maybe an 8-man dungeon, maybe a 6-man raid, an 8-man raid, maybe a whole new open world in-game PvE activity with replayability that actually drops things that we can use in the in-game or that we can keep grinding for currencies or something like that. Maybe a new type of PvE VP content system like Gambit and Destiny. That's something the game really hasn't done. So I really could see them introducing something like this, because we've been getting these new systems like companions, antiquities, all this stuff, right? But something we haven't got is something that is a fundamentally different type of an activity that we already have. And I would be really interested to see if we could get that this year. So that's what, you know, I feel like may be coming through the expansion. Now, what is my wish list and what do I actually want to see with the new expansion? So the first thing I would like to see next year, and I think this should trump a lot of it, is just really, I'd love for them to continue trying to get their balance right and their performance for everyone, because I know a lot of people are not happy with that. You know, a lot of PvP people are not happy with PvP right now. They're not happy with some of the changes. They want things more balanced. They want better stability. I'd love for them to focus on that. Okay, so when we move beyond that, if you ask me, what would I like to see in the next expansion? I would obviously love to see a new class, right? I'd love to see capes, right? We're not, I say that as a joke, we're not gonna get capes, but I would love to see a new class. Or I'd love to see a new in-game system like I just mentioned before. Because I really believe that ESO needs a new type of activity to do in its end game. The dungeons in this game are fantastic. The trials are fantastic. The mechanics are so good. And a lot of the other systems are really amazing, like antiquities. I love antiquities. But I would love to see them expand upon a system and bring something new and innovative. I would love to see something that I can sink my time into and grind. I know for a lot of players that are just starting out, you may say, Adam, I have so much to do. I'm so overwhelmed. Why do you want something else added to the game? I'm just going to be more overwhelmed. And the answer to that is just simply, I have played this game for a long time. I've done a lot of things in this game. And for me, I may be in the minority with this, which I probably am, because a lot of people have not played as long as I have. But for me, I just really am looking for a new innovative thing in the end game to grind my time into. I really want to sink my time into something that I can grind. Because for me, I have a lot of the item sets. I have a lot of the builds that I want to make, right? That's why I like making builds, because when I make builds, it allows me to experiment onto something that I haven't done yet. That's why I have so many characters. But I would love to have something in the game, like a new dungeon type or a new trial type, or some sort of like enhancement to the monster sets to where I can grind and get more cosmetics or something like that, right? That's just coming from a player who's played a long time in this game. So I don't want you to think that like there's nothing to do in the game, because there is a lot to do in this game. It's just from someone from my perspective, I'm looking at it a little differently, right? Don't let me make you think though that there's not things to do in the game, because there is. This MMO has so much to do. I've just put a lot of time already into it. But the thing is though, is I really have this hunch that like they might not add a new class. Like I want them to, but I just get this sense, like, again, that like they're still trying to balance things. They're still trying to figure out how everything works together with the performance. And I think if you add another class to that, it just adds more complexity to it, right? But again, we're going to talk about that in a later video, but that's just kind of my opinion on the new class. I would love though to see better stability for everyone, some PvP content for people, some more performance, and then just a new in-game system. I think that's really my wish list for the game. Now, I really have no idea what's going to come with this expansion. I mean, I'm in the dark with it, but I think it's safe to say that if they follow their track record with them revealing this new morph that's coming out next year, I think that's what the chapter is going to be themed around. Now, it just depends on if it's going to be in Cyrodiil, High Rock, Hammerfell, but I really feel like we're due for like a Redguard or like a DC expansion chapter. So let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. I'd love to see your opinions on it. What do you think we're going to get? What do you think the game needs? I'd love to hear what you have to say. And again, make sure to like, subscribe, heavy attack that bell icon to stay up to date on all the content in the channel. I'm going to be trying to give you all the news and updates as I get them, and any speculations that I have for the next expansion, if we think we're getting a new class, all that stuff, right? So please let me know what you think. I'd love to hear about it. And again, you can come join our Discord, check out our website at brahwegotthis.com, and you can check out my stream at twitch.tv/brahwegotthis. And again, massive thanks to all the patrons. Really do appreciate you. But until next time, y'all, just remember to have faith, be great, and I'll see you on ESO.